Hello, buddy. My name is Eric, and today we're going to be looking at questionable download ads. These are ads on download sites that are not quite what they seem. They'll try and fool you into thinking they're downloads, or they'll at least be sneaky. So today we've partnered with ANY.RUN to allow me to, first of all, we're going to check these things out, and then we're going to put them on ANY.RUN to see what the truth about these downloads are. So let's try some of these out. So first of all, download.com. I remember reading an article a couple of years ago that there was a staggering amount of malware you could get from this site, and that's actually what inspired me to make the first of this series. So let's check out download.com. Which is actually download.cnet.com, but they brand it as download.com, and they do own the domain, so we'll call it that. So let's see what a Microsoft driver update can do for us. Now, we are on, this is Windows 11, and it will begin in a moment. Almost done. Click to the right. Okay, and we do actually have a driver update.exe. Now, looking around this website, the fact they have what's going to be an expensive domain means this is probably more of a snake oilware than a case of malware, but we'll check it out. Now we can go and close. There's nothing that always trips me up about Google Ads is the close button actually does work despite being inside of the ad, which you don't expect. Now let's try and actually download something. Let's go with Adobe Reader. Okay, first result, sponsored. Let's see what we got. A PDF suite, converter, the Adobe Reader What? I thought you were Adobe Reader. This is the Adobe Reader at home. So let's download the PDF suite. Let's install the PDF suite. I don't like that. It just stopped and I don't see any signs of... Oh, it was just... Okay, I think it's just slow. What some of these will do is they will come with bundled software that you do not want. Those are usually called PUPs or potentially unwanted programs. It might sound like a cute little puppy, but I assure you there's nothing in common. Now let's go back and scroll down so that if we could actually download the real one. Oh, buy now. Or we could do download and we could get it for free. So let's click download. Now this one I'm actually curious to see more about because this is called the PC App Store. I don't know if it's a total malware or it's just adware, but I don't really like it. I'm sure if we did that, we'd get more. Now we got, only ads we got here are those. It said free and then it says buy. So that's a bit misleading. Okay, Adobe Reader Touch. I don't even know what that does. And right here, oh, that's ironic. That's just funny. AVG secure browser. It's like, okay, does it even work though? Now we've seemingly installed PDF Suite, and PDF Suite seems to just be nagware. Additional action required. Get enhanced features that I don't want. You told me all of these things were free, so that's just basically adware, except it's ads for itself. And that's also what this AVG browser is going to be. And I'm kind of curious, do we get both our AVG browser and our Adobe Reader, or did they actually just replace Adobe Reader with AVG that we did not want? And okay, that's just an ad for the real Opera. So the ads on CNET are pretty tame. Now, one of my favorite download sites, I actually do kind of like the fact this is anonymous. Sometimes I even use it to move stuff between VMs, but they are a part of a very questionable ad network, and I'll demonstrate this. We'll just upload something and then download it from here and see what happens. Now, these kind of download sites are common in piracy communities where the anonymity is valuable, but as a result, they're not going to get mainstream ad networks. So they use a type of ad that pops up in a new window. Now we'll copy this. Then we'll download this. And this one is going to be an interesting result when we do move on over to the sandbox. Every ad on this site is roughly the same, so we only need one for Buzz Heavier. And I'm gonna zip all of these up as CNET. Now, one of the other things people, including the PC Security Channel, made a video about it a while ago, is on Google.com. You can get these misleading bids for free software where it actually goes somewhere else. I covered this for 7-Zip. Okay, nothing sketchy. Nothing's bidding on 7-Zip right now. We'll try OBS. Nothing for OBS. uTorrent was one that was popularly recommended, but I don't see anything super sketchy up here. Although I would absolutely not recommend using uTorrent, but if you all go, it seems like you can download it. And then we get some things that shouldn't be downloaded for free. Let's try qBittorrent on the subject's torrent clients. Google tries to autocorrect us to go to BitTorrent, which is not what we want. And we get some interesting SEO. spam, but nothing sketchy so far. No, so no bidding for me. So let's try another one that people ask me about a lot. This is Cheat Engine. Now, a lot of people ask me if Cheat Engine has malware. No, it doesn't. First question. But does that mean downloading it is completely risk-free? Well, unfortunately not, because there's some questionable ads both on the site, which doesn't really matter, and in the installer. And you also get one of these sneaky ones. So let's see what you've got to say for yourself. Zip this. I imagine this is going to be a 7-zip fork, but this doesn't look as well set up as, say, the other ones, so I'm a bit more concerned about this site. Quite a lot of data they're talking about collecting here. Looking at the version number, it seems like this is almost certainly a ripoff of 7-zip, and they are going to ship some bundled software, so we'll look at that after we look at Cheat Engine's installer. So let's see what we get offered with Cheat Engine. So welcome to the... Oh, that's weird. Small screen only ran on the second one. That's actually really funny. Cheat Engine is a tool. Yes. So we click next. And then we start getting the optional offer. So luckily enough, they have this skip all, which is pretty good. So let's look at McAfee, AVG antivirus free, Norton private browser, every antivirus. Okay, and that's the only things we get in here. So nothing horrifying then, but really 3 different free antivirus offers. We can also go back to the site and see if any other interesting... Sometimes we get different ads. Oh, Wave Browser. Wave Browser is actually quite popular with tech illiterate people. And it's not malware, it's just annoying. Not useful. There's no reason you'd ever want to install it, but could be worse. Now let's check out an old favorite for anyone who's ever played modded Minecraft. Mediafire. I'm just waiting to get that to load. Oh, and there's a download button here as well, so we'll have to check that one out. This is just a game. This is not actually really a download button ad. Got this zip file. This seems to have become really popular. And we got Wave Browser, so we can check those out in a second. And we get a pop-up ad that goes to Opera GX. And we did get the real file, so at least there's that. So it will start your download and open up messages from our advertisers. Are you also? No, you're a free PDF creator. I don't know about you, but let's find out about you. A free PDF creator? What are you doing? Yikes. Oh, there's a lot of yikes on this one because it's got a picture of free VPN, but it's free PDF creator. Okay, you're a yikes. I don't like you. I got a feeling that one's going to be pretty sketchy. Reality is, if you advertise your product in a way to try and confuse someone trying to download something else to download your product, you probably don't want to download that. Some of them have gotten a bit better by making it a bit more clear what they're advertising, but okay. So we're not getting anything else juicy on Mediafire. Now, of course, dodgy streaming sites is another go-to because they will almost... I don't even know how you're supposed to use these sites. And some of them also have pretty good ad block detection, so that's not the answer. Okay, that was unexpected. It seems like it's actually 3 minutes. Is this not an ad? Okay, I don't know what this is, but I know I can't legally show this on YouTube because it's copyrighted, but okay, well, I guess GoGo Anime have cleaned up their act a bit. If this is even the real one. I'm not sure if these are mirrors or clones. A lot of the time at these kind of sites, there'll be a few real ones, and then if you go just a bit further down, there's just a nest of completely fake sites that will actually not even contain the content you want and will contain nothing but the ads. This one has a different interface, but still. This one goes to AliExpress, and you may be thinking, well, what's the trick here? This is actually just redirecting you so that your browser cookie for AliExpress, if you do happen to ever buy anything from AliExpress, will attribute them as the affiliate. It's similar. Theoretically, you could do this with things like Amazon as well. Of course, they would instantly ban you for it. Now, let's see what this is, because I don't think this site has a premium option. No. Okay, that's a clever ad scam, actually. So we go from Kiss Anime to eFlix, which is some weird tier Y streaming service that nobody actually uses. Oh wait, is this actually an illegal streaming service? I think it's a paid illegal streaming service. That's funny. Yeah, and they pretend like, because you're referred, you stream everything you want in full HD. Oh, and we get another ad. See if this one downloads anything. But at least the video actually did start playing, so it's better than some of them. There was this one site that was supposed to be a movie site, and it genuinely didn't actually ever redirect to the movie. Just played a different ad every time you tried. And then we got some, I think these are gambling ads. And this time they're paying for an ad, but their site doesn't even work, so good on you. Here's free PDF creator. Again, this is a site called File Hippo, which is a legitimate download site, but once again, there are going to be trouble with some less than honest ads. Now, this is just a Chrome extension, which unfortunately we can't run in a malware sandbox. But I can tell you, looking at this, this is not something we want to install. Now, here we get a Chrome with Avast secure downloads, download extension, download zip this, PC App Store. They seem to really be going hard. And then is this a different browser? Oh, this is Wave browser. Thought this was a different browser extension. And now we've got Fire Shield, and this is a browser extension as well that does the same thing that the other extensions did. So now let's extract our collection and get it onto the sandbox so we can see what's really going on here. Now this is from Buzz Heavier, and I have a pretty good idea this is some sort of info stealer. Historically it's been a Luma stealer, but they could have switched vendors. Now let's log into our sandbox account and get to work. Now, of course, we can just go here onto the ANY.RUN website. Now, thanks again to ANY.RUN for sponsoring this video. Now, as you can probably guess, we can upload a file or an email here, or we can send a URL if we simply have a link so that we don't ever have to download that onto the local computer. And of course, they also have their new safe browsing beta to test phishing links. But we're going to be using the submit file option. And here we can choose which file. Now, first of all, I want to take a look at this one. Now, given this is just a bare file, we don't need to send the zip. We can just send the installer, which is a nice, legitimate looking setup file. Actually, we will use the zip because this is null-byted. Now, a general trick around null-byted payloads, when your sandbox or any reason you can't, if you zip them, they will be much smaller because it's just a string of zeros. So we'll give this a reasonable amount of time. We'll turn on MITM proxy so we can see the actual command and control server activity, and the rest of this all looks good to me. Now here we can choose whether we want to make this public, only me, or I'm going to make it public because there's nothing sensitive here. But for businesses, these options are quite useful. You can also choose if we want to give this a residential IP address. I think we might as well, purely for the sake of some programs as a form of anti-sandbox will check for data center IPs. And here we go. So the first thing we got to do, of course, enter the password. Okay. Drag you out. And let's run setup.exe and see what happens. And now capture. Oh, looks like that was just bait. Now we instantly got some hits to this site. Now let's actually see what's going on at this site. Oh, okay. I think we got some kind of janky malware going on here, where the malware actually was using that software to take a picture of our screen. Now we can see the rest of this. So bypass, window hidden, and then we've got a base64 PowerShell that of course I can translate. And then we see a .shop domain, which is indicative of a Luma stealer. Now, if this was sent HTTP, and we can also see a paste bin. We download a second payload that appears to be offline. And then we start downloading more, sending our system information. And this is actually a PowerShell script that we can run. Now let's take a closer look at what this PowerShell script is up to. We can see that it's got a couple of indications of dodginess. It's base64 coded, which isn't a great sign. Now, if we go to more info here, and then we can go to the script tracer, which is an ANY.RUN feature that allows you to beat obfuscated PowerShell by simply running it line by line and recording what is executed. So as a result, we can see what this was really planning on doing. So we get the Win32 computer system, we get this, check for part of a domain. It might have an additional network payload if we were, and we can see these. Now, of course, because nothing is case sensitive on Windows, this is just another, not really obfuscation, but anti-readability. Now, first of all, we got Keep Key, BC Vault, Cypherock, Trezor, which is a hardware cryptocurrency wallet, Bitbox, CyberRock, SynSync, Bitbox.exe. Now these are all just tests. So if any of these were detected, what it would probably do is try to install some sort of additional stealer or maybe a social engineering tactic to try and trick a user into giving up their keys. It's an interesting additional bit where it checks for what mostly look like hardware wallets, in addition to the Luma payload, which will easily steal anything that might be in a software wallet. And then it does manage to download a additional piece of malware that is actually seemingly saved as we've even got a fake AVI. Oh, and that's using the AutoIt. So that is probably going to be a dart gate that comes in addition to a Luma. So we are completely kitted out with every type of unwanted software you could imagine. Now we can see a PowerShell command getting executed here a couple of times, and this is actually running a script. Now that's really dodgy, and it's a randomly generated name, and it's probably unbelievably obfuscated. We can actually see that, but we don't have to worry because we've got script tracer. So we're calling add MP preference exclusion path, and then this is the actual call. And then we're converting some data mount point does not have. So this is checking some Windows settings. And then we can see more ways. And ultimately, as we scroll through this script, we learn that this has gone through every possible way of neutering Defender. Now, you may be thinking, why do they do this if most of these scripts are undetected anyways? Well, when distributing a persistent info stealer, it's probably undetected when you first sent it, but it might get a detection in the future. So in order to protect themselves from future detections, they can just add an exclusion. Legitimate software does not do this, especially not iterating through every possible way of disabling Windows Defender. Now let's take a look at some of the other sketchy files we're interested in. So we'll go back and see. So of these, I'm curious about this PC App Store. This one is just bizarre. So we'll give this a fair amount of time because we're going to have to install it. And we will definitely turn on MITM proxy so that we can see all the ins and outs of any connectivity it's doing. And we'll go with the proxy again just to be safe. I'm going to turn on the automated interactivity, which is an anti-sandbox feature. What it does is it deals with malware that will check for interactivity to see if it's a real person, and it will use a machine-learned mouse movement to make it look more real. We're on it. Hold on. So far, all of our connections look pretty normal because, of course, it's not inherently problematic that it's downloading the app, although the fact that it's instantly opening up this redundant page, it's a major pet peeve of mine with apps when they do that, is they have this fake web app installer, building the app fortress, brewing the apps. Really, this is probably just going to be a mix of spyware and adware. Got a couple of suspicious things, moving executables. Now it seems like we're ready for the actual PC App Store. Yup, it's installed. And we can see an absolute horde of DNS requests to repository and ad networks, which is less good. Now here we get a bunch of things. So there's even legitimate apps on here, and if we click get, yeah, we can install them. And then it installs Discord. So the main thing seems to be the ads in here. And most of these programs look like pups. So we essentially have a pup that installs more pups. Not really something we want. And a lot of these look like they've got stolen icons. Like this is not Microsoft 365. This is 365 Suite. I would not recommend installing any of this. So we can call that one a day. Now, the one I'm really curious about is this zip this that's been advertised absolutely everywhere. So what are you up to? Set you all up. So this looks very different from 7-zip. And we can instantly see a few requests to thissilent.com. I don't know what this does. Oh, and they're trying to get us to install a password manager that we didn't ask for. And there we go. The app is now installed. Spawned a bunch of Google Chrome. And it's changing the execution policy. Okay. Let's take a look at what the actual software is. Okay. Maybe this is just compression software, I guess. Strange. And that's because I put a Word document in there. Yeah, so it works. It's functional. That's about all I would say. And there's quite a lot of telemetry going on here. Take a look. Probably some sort of code. Be base64. Then we got an empty JSON request. At first I thought this was just weird characters, but no, it seems like this is in fact actually some sort of Chinese. That actually just doesn't make... Okay, so that's probably coded somehow. Not going to learn much more about that. But I don't really like the constant phoning home. But once again, this one looks like a pop to me. Here's our free PDF creator. Now this one was oversized, so I had to compress it first so that I could upload it. Now the fact it got a 3:1 compression ratio is a bit dodgy, as is the whole scenario of this thing. It's weird, so let's see if we can learn anything more about what it's really up to. We get a full screen installer. We can convert our file to PDF for free, and we got this first run. Let's see what this is up to. Won't exist. Screen resolution. Okay. And the response. Okay. And now we're... Wait. Click here to... That's really strange. Oh, it's a Chrome extension. So what did the native file do? That's what I'm trying to figure out. See if we can convert a PNG. Looks like we can. Does the... Yep. Looks like it did an okay job. But, so where did it actually install anything? Now let's see what this compiler PW domain is doing. So we get a bad request, conversion.js. So ultimately that bit is offline. But ANY.RUN actually has a rule specifically about PW domains because they're often used for abuse. Not always, but it's not a great sign. And there is absolutely nothing on the internet about this domain. So I have a feeling that's involved in some less than honest activity. Free PDF creator spawns a Chrome that does just run the web app, ultimately. It's really strange. And it gets a verdict of suspicious activity, which I can agree with. So that is going to be all for this video, and I just wanted to tell you to finish this off about ANY.RUN's Black Friday sale. Something pretty much everyone does this time of year, and you can see it when you see on the pricing tab. We got this rocket ship here, and what we get, as they say, same price, more value, better security. So, for in-depth sandbox-based malware analysis, what you were just watching me use, here we go. So, of course, as always with your business email, you can sign up for free. Just go here, done. Perfect. So you got that. Oh, Chrome, save that. Then we got, for individuals, we've got the Hunter plan, which is what I'm using in this video. You can get that, and what you can get here is you can get a bonus license. So instead of getting one license for this price, you get two. Now, what about if you're an enterprise? Maybe you want an ANY.RUN set up for your whole company. You get 5 licenses, you get 2 for free, or you can get 10 licenses and 3 for free, and you get free access to ANY.RUN's threat intelligence lookup. And here we've got, you also get, if you want to buy the threat intelligence, you get double the search requests. Now, just in case you've forgotten, I'll go over all the things you get. So, of course, you get all of this, and then you get a longer timeout, you get a bigger file size, you can export more stuff, you get all of this. You can have private reports, doesn't have to be public. If you've got a spear phishing attack on your business, you don't want to share that, great. You want to use MITM proxy so you can analyze everything a piece of malware is doing online, perfect. You can do that. Want to use it in a commercial setting, world is your oyster. You can do all of this. You can also use the API to automate it. So you can build a system. You can integrate this into a broader security system where whenever you have an unknown file, you can immediately and automatically upload it to ANY.RUN. And you also get 20 free lookups on threat intelligence if that's something you're interested in. I might actually make a video about that at some point because I think it's a really cool product. So that is going to be all for me for now. I really hope you enjoyed it. And once again, thank you to ANY.RUN for sponsoring this video and offering a great Black Friday sale so you can get more value for the same price. That's all for me for now. Bye.